Yes, please. Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to Unacademy. This is CA Devang Kothari here. Welcome, welcome. Let me just check. Are we live? Yes, seems like we are. Okay. First of all, just a minute. Yes, please. First of all, let me tell you what are we here for today. This is my class number 3. This is my third class regarding discussion of ICAI Case Study Digest. Yes, Case Study Digest for CA Final SCMPE subject. CA Final Costing subject SCMPE. ICAI released a case study digest in February last year, and we're discussing different cases from that just for additional practice. Yeah, all these cases are purely only for extra practice. Most important are the cases that you have done in your study material, also the cases in my material. Yeah, these cases are just for extra practice, additional practice. Okay. Yeah, so we'll be discussing a few more cases and a few more questions from that case study digest today. But before I begin with that, some announcements for you. Yes, Unacademy, we have launched the Iconic program on Unacademy. Iconic program is the premium program for CA final students. Iconic program is already widely successful at foundation and intermediate level. Now we have also launched the Iconic program for CA final students, and what do you get under this Iconic program? Well, under that Iconic program, you will have a live mentoring platform. Live mentoring means what? Well, you will you will have all the routine benefits of the Plus subscription. Plus, additionally, you have some extra benefits here. Like one-to-one doubt solving sessions will be there. There will be a person who is dedicated purely for your doubt solving. Personally, one-to-one doubt solving will be done. There will be evaluated test series which are conducted. Yes, test series will be conducted, and the test papers will also be evaluated, checked and given back to you. Okay? Printed copies of the books will be given to you, and you will have the routine benefits like live classes, weekly tests, study material, unlimited access, and the biggest benefit is structured courses. You will not have assorted free classes like we have right now. It will be proper structured syllabus completion course over there. Yeah, so that the entire syllabus you will find it on one page itself, so that you can complete the entire syllabus without missing out anything at all. Okay? um, Under the live mentoring program, what else will you have? You have evaluated test series. Evaluated test series will be under 3 stages. First test at 40% syllabus completion. Second test will be at 80% syllabus completion, and the third test will be at 100% syllabus completion. Okay? And after the test, there will be an analysis class where the faculty will give you an analysis, a detailed analysis of that question paper, and plus you will also have personal guidance. You'll be given personal guidance from an expert regarding how well did you perform in the paper. In short, the feedback of your performance in the paper. Okay? So what are the pricing for the Iconic subscription? Well, you see, these are the pricing model for Iconic subscription, but you can use code Yeshas Live to get further 10% discount on that subscription. Okay? Same way for group 2 also, you can use code Yeshas Live to get 10% discount there. You can also go for combo subscription, group 1 plus group 2. So entire CA final. And there you can have, these are the pricing. Again, use code Yeshas Live to get 10% discount on that. But a big announcement for today, we have a Republic Day offer which is running right now. Yes, it started yesterday and the offer is still running till tomorrow. That is free 6 months free extension you will get if you register in these 3 days. If you buy the subscription in these 3 days, then you'll be given 6-month free extension. Use code Yeshas Live for 10% discount in that also. So 10% discount as well as 6-month free extension, both you will have. Yes, you'll have 6-month free extension if you choose 1 year subscription or above. Okay, so this is a chance not to be missed. Yeah, it's almost as good as like 50% discount because 6 months extra subscription you are getting. Anyways, so that are the new plans and new announcements for now. But going back to our topic here. Yeah. So case study digest, we had done few cases earlier in the case study digest. Right now, I'll continue with case number 7. Case number 7 in the case study digest. Earlier 6 cases we have already done. So what I'll be doing here today, I'll discuss few cases and then by the end of the session, I will also discuss few practical questions. Let me remind you, this case study digest given by ICAI, this contains certain case studies, certain more case studies under the name case scenarios, and then it contains some practical questions also. There are total 3 sections in the case study digest given by ICAI. First section is called as case studies. Second part is called as case scenarios, which is basically kind of case studies only, but like small cases, small case studies. And then the third section is some practical questions. I will be discussing few case studies from the first section and then few practicals from the last section today. Okay? Yeah. Okay, we'll read case number 7. Now this case is regarding what? If I show you the required part, look, it will always be convenient that when you start reading a case, it will be convenient that first you go and see the required part in the case. Because if you'll see the required part, then it will be more convenient for you that how should you answer the case. Well, let's see. In the required part, they are just asking you that what is the company doing wrong. So you just have to find out that what mistakes has the company done, and anyway they can continue in that current business or not. In short, you notice that this case seems to be like a general case study. It does not pertain to any specific chapter, does not pertain to any particular theory. It is kind of a general case study here. Okay? We'll see. Now, as usual, you know that I will not be reading the entire case word by word. I will not even be reading the entire solution word by word. I'll just give you guidelines regarding what is there in the case and how are you expected to answer. Yeah, because look, there are so many cases in this case study digest. I cannot spend time in reading word by word every case. I expect you to read the case study on your own. I'm just giving you guidance regarding the summary of all these cases. Okay? So case number 7, the case is regarding a company which is into the business of bread and butter. They're into the business of making bread and sandwiches. They are making bread and selling sandwiches. This is their main business at present. You can see that here. They're making bread and sandwiches over there. But recently, the customers have now started shifting to different forms of snacks, different form of breakfast, which is nutrient rich breakfast like cornmeals, rice crisps, oatmeals, etc. These are the new kinds of breakfast which is taking over the market share as opposed to bread butter or as opposed to simple sandwich. Yeah. So this company needs to do some upgrading because they have been selling bread butter only. They need to now incorporate some other items in their food, in their business. The breads that they were making were custom made. Now they have given the history of their business. Their business history says that the breads were custom made. The prices charged were also very high. Because I was making custom made bread for my customers, I was charging high price for my customers, and my store was the only store of its kind in the entire area, over 50 kilometers in that city. Yeah, and the people were fond of unique service offered and tastes filled with their morning experience with happiness. Okay? So in short, even though I was charging high price, people were still fond of my bread and people were still coming and buying my bread. So seemed like the business is running good. The business prospered and the profits also increased phenomenally over year to year. So look, currently their bread butter business, their sandwich business is going good. But just because the company feels that nutrient rich breakfast is now taking over the market share, So they are wanting to expand into other products in their business also. So this is what they did. They started selling frozen food items, desserts, beverages, and meals for train passengers. So think, they were already selling one, sandwiches. Now they also started selling frozen food items, second product. Desserts is the third product. Beverages is the fourth product. And meals for train passengers, fifth product. So now the company is doing business into five products. Imagine, until now your company was doing business in only one product, and suddenly you start selling now five products. Yes, now suddenly if you start selling five products, you notice that the company has taken a major leap in their business. Obviously, it is bound to face some problems. Let's see. The bread butter company was now known as Just Taste It, JTI. So they even changed the name of the company. Instead of BBC, they now call it as JTI. They started to hire new people with flawless cooking skills, and there seemed to be more supply than demand. So they started producing more food than what was demanded. They started supplying more products than what was in demand. Also, the staff were welcomed to share their unique recipes. The company started promoting the staff to suggest their own unique recipes, and the team gathered to prepare items based on the ones selected and approved. The employees started preparing meals on a prior anticipation of demand. Now here they are talking about meals. Look, you had a total five products. First is sandwiches, second is frozen food items, third product was desserts, fourth product was beverages, and the fifth product is meals for train passengers. They are train meals, we can call that. Yes, now if these are the five products that the company is now doing, they have given here details about meals. They started preparing meals on a prior anticipation of demand, including excess meals for any stock out. Naturally, look, when you're giving meals for train passengers don't have time to wait because the train will leave. Yeah, so they need the food on immediate basis. So for train passengers, especially for train passengers, they started preparing meal on a prior anticipation of demand. So they have a pre-prepared meal package ready. They also have excess meal packs for any stockouts. Yep. The warehouse seemed to be a chaos full of raw materials. Naturally, suddenly if you start dealing in five products instead of one product, then all the five products will have raw materials, and all these raw materials are now cluttered up in the warehouse. So warehouse is now a chaos full of raw material purchased from various suppliers based on the suggestions of staff and pre-packed meals. Look, you are taking suggestions from the staff for their recipes. So whoever staff suggested a recipe, he will get his material ordered from a different supplier. So imagine there will be so many different varieties of raw material coming from so many different suppliers, all cluttered up in your warehouse. Even the kitchen got out of space to accommodate the current staff comfortably. Naturally, when everybody becomes a cook, then the kitchen will become crowded. Yeah. The myriad ideas took JTI in a mirage, creating problems in coordination. Yes, you had problems in coordination among the staff because so many people now start suggesting their recipes. If everybody suggests the recipe, everybody starts becoming a chef. Obviously, there will be problem in that coordination. Also, the bread and sandwich business was hit by negative publicity of train meals. Now, this is the worst thing now happening. Dekho. You saw that these are the problems in your train meals business. But because of the train meals business having problems, there was negative publicity which hit the sandwich business also. Imagine if train customers realize that the meals given by the company are very bad, then they will not even trust the sandwiches given by the company. Sandwiches was the business which was running very good. It was already very good, and your company was already very well established in the sandwiches market. But just because of the new product You got negative publicity, and due to that, even your existing product started suffering. Yes, so my sandwich business started taking a hit because of negative publicity of train meals. Company had to compromise on quality naturally to earn profits, to earn enough profits to keep the mill business up and running. Okay, they were not getting enough orders. Frozen items and dessert beverage business were the only support they had. So these frozen items, desserts, and beverages, these three businesses were running pretty good, but your train meals had problems, and because of negative publicity in train meals, sandwich business also started having problems. Okay? That's what they say. So frozen items, dessert, and beverage business were the only support they had. Support they had means these business were still doing pretty well. So the company thought of bringing a changeover and presenting themselves as retailers rather than preparers of meals, breads, and sandwiches. Now, this sentence indicates that presently the company is preparing sandwiches and they're preparing meals. Presently, is the company manufacturing the frozen food, desserts, and beverages? No. These three things are not manufactured by the company. These three things are just retail trade. Retail trade means what? Retail trade means you don't manufacture these products. You're simply buying and selling out these products. Yeah, you're simply buying out and selling out these products as it is. That is the retail trade. So they are now thinking to change and present themselves as simply retailers rather than preparers of meals and sandwiches. In short, they are thinking of shutting down sandwich business and meal business, because meal business is suffering and because of that sandwich is also suffering. So they're thinking of shutting down these two businesses. That's what they are thinking. You have to suggest that is that a correct thought process or not. Okay, and you're supposed to advise. Let's see what they are asking. They're asking you that what is the company doing wrong. So you first point out all the mistakes in the company. Is there any way JTI could continue its current business? Look, they were thinking to shut down meals and sandwich business. They are asking you that is there any way to continue that business still? Well, we can say that it is possible to continue if they make some corrections in their business model. Yes, they have chosen good products. Their sandwich product was actually very good product, but it suffered because of the meal product. So if you suggest them to make some changes, make things more organized, then it might be possible to continue the current business. We'll suggest that. And third question, they say we need to save on cost and regain the lost trust of customers. How to do that? How to regain the trust of the customers? Look, when you are selling only sandwiches, then customer trusted you a lot. In fact, even though you were charging high price for sandwiches, still people were coming to your shop and buying sandwiches from you. Yeah, so customer trusted your product a lot, but now because of the bad publicity, the customer's trust is lost. How to regain the trust of those customers? You see, there was no dearth of loyal foodies when we used to sell breads and sandwiches. We had loyal customers when we were selling sandwiches. Even though we charged high prices back then, we never had to confront such predicaments we are currently in. So let us start answering that first. What are we doing wrong? Acha. And to support these things, they have also given you some data over here. As such, data here is not like kind of very useful, but few things I can make you notice in the data. Their revenue comes from four sources: sandwiches, desserts and frozen food, beverages and meals. So you notice out of 5 products, 2 products they have given together. Out of 5 products, one is sandwiches. Breads and sandwiches is one product. Then desserts and frozen food is my second and third product. Fourth is beverages, and fifth is the meals. Now here they have given details for desserts and frozen food together. Okay. But you notice that in the last 3 years, your sandwiches sales is decreasing. Anyways, they had told you that sandwiches market share is falling because of the new, better nutrient products that are coming into the market. Okay, so that is true. Sandwiches sales is reducing. Desserts and frozen food beverage sales is going pretty good. It's increasing also, you can see. Yeah. And meals business. Notice, meals business is also decreasing. Yeah. So I'll just mention them here. Desserts and frozen food is going good. It is increasing slowly, slowly. Even beverages business is increasing slowly, but sandwiches is falling and meals are falling. That's what you notice even in the theory above. Now, cost and expenses. Because you are given food items as raw material, ready-made frozen food, desserts purchased, beverages purchased. Well, these three make you realize that frozen food is not manufactured from raw material. Rather, frozen food is purchased ready made. So you are not a manufacturer, you are a trading company. That is why they said retail trade. Yeah. Similarly, desserts are also purchased, not manufactured. Beverages are also purchased, not manufactured. Therefore, this indicates that these three businesses is just a retail trade. These three items are only trading, not manufacturing. But sandwiches you are manufacturing and meals you are preparing. Naturally, because for preparing the meals you have so many recipes, you have so much materials in the warehouse and all that is definitely for just the meals. Okay. Other operating expenses you are given. Okay. And then finally your net incomes are given, and you see that the net income has also decreased significantly. In the last year it has become rather a loss, and that also a huge loss. Look at the other details. Beverage market was competitive, commanding high profit was never an expectation. Beverage market is very competitive, so high profit was anyways not expected. In beverage market, you get some nominal profit that is good enough. Frozen items were sold at a markup of 10% on purchase cost, and Georgians preferred frozen foods and fresh foods equally. So within frozen item and fresh food, both are having equal ratio inside. Desserts are all-time favorite irrespective of seasonal variations. Of the desserts and frozen revenue, 60% sale was dedicated to desserts. Okay, so out of the desserts and frozen revenue, they have given it together. 60% pertains to desserts. Okay, further, 50% labor was identified towards meal preparation, 40% towards sandwich and bread, and 10% towards serving desserts. So you're given the bifurcation of the labor. Out of your total labor costs, half of them is for meals, 40% is for sandwiches, meaning 90% of the labor is for your manufacturing goods. Rest 10% labor is for your trading items. Desserts is your trading items. You don't manufacture desserts, you are simply serving desserts when a customer comes to your shop. Yeah. So manufacturing is not there, it is simply trading. Beverages did not take much labor hours since they could be refilled in self-serving dispensers. Okay, through which the clients were served. Once they served themselves with their choice of beverage, they stood in lines to complete the billing of the service. Okay, of the cost of food as raw materials, only 40% was dedicated to bread and sandwich revenue. Remaining raw material must be for the meals. Rewards to staff were paid on the basis of recipes approved. Now, this is important. The staff will be paid rewards if their recipe gets approved. You are told that you are recommending, you are encouraging the staff to give recipes. So, whomsoever's recipe gets approved will be rewarded. That's what their plan. And product wise, service wise, or sectoral analysis you are given here. Sector wise, like during this year, out of my total gross profit, profit from sandwiches is 41,000. Sorry, revenue from sandwiches 41,000. Food items cost, labor cost is this. So my gross loss in terms of sandwiches is 19,000. Sandwiches give me loss of 19,000. Similarly, Desserts have given me profit of 4280. Frozen food is giving 3345 profit. Beverages is giving 7952 profit, and meals is giving loss of 18,000. In short, you are given segment wise analysis here. Again, this analysis reveals that sandwich business and your meal business is suffering. Rest of the three are doing fairly good. Yeah, frankly, this all numeric data given here is actually not very useful, because they have not asked you to make any calculations. They are just asking you suggestions I can give based on the concepts, based on the theory given earlier. I don't need this numeric data for the suggestions. But okay, let us see the answers then. So in my answer, first question, they were asking that what is wrong, what are they doing wrong? What are they doing wrong? Let's see. First of all, their idea to expand business itself seems to be not a very good idea. Yes, it is a good idea, but they have not implemented that idea correctly. Okay? The idea to expand is directed towards growth and better future. Okay? It will give you additional edge over the other bread manufacturers. However, execution seems to lack proper planning and organization. So expansion plan is not bad, but you have executed that very badly. This company has executed the expansion very badly with lack of proper planning and organization. So they need application of lean thinking. Chapter 3, lean systems. Yeah, lean systems means to minimize waste. I've given you a description. What does lean thinking mean? It means that you try to waste of all the forms must be eliminated. Lean thinking means to eliminate all forms of waste. You need to identify activities which consume resources but are of no value addition. You need to identify non-value added activities so that you can try to eliminate these activities. Okay? So you need to segregate value creating and non-value creating activity. In short, you put down the general theory of that chapter 3, value added, non-value added. Find the non-value added, remove them. That is my general suggestion here. Try to eliminate the non-value added creating activities. Now, specifically, I'm writing that what has the company done wrong. First of all, you see that they have started implementing so many different products, but you notice that your meal business was suffering. Why was it suffering? Mainly it was suffering because you were preparing the meals beforehand. Yes, you were preparing the meals beforehand even before there was a demand. In short, you were not following a pull system, you were following a push system. I hope you remember push system and pull system. Yeah, you are not following a pull system, you are rather following a push system where you manufacture the goods and then you push it to the customers. Rather, I suggest they should follow a pull system, which is also called as just-in-time production. Just-in-time production meaning you produce according to the demand. Don't produce irrespective of the demand. Plus, if you produce according to the demand, you also need to maintain the quality of the food. Nutrition of the food has to be maintained. If you prepare the food so early, so much well in advance, then by the time the customer gets the food, it might become stale. That is also a problem. Pre-preparing the meals and storing them is not a value-added activity. Rather, it will decrease value of the product if you prepare the meals very early and store them. Rather, it is also a challenge to the food safety requirement. If you're storing the food in a unsafe environment, then eventually the food will get spoiled. It will spoil or it will damage the health of your customers. So there are two forms of waste that I see over here. There are two forms of waste. There is a waste in the cost of storing, and there is also wastage of the food prepared that was not sold. Yes, you prepare the food in anticipation of stock out, you prepare excess food and then it doesn't get sold. That is again a waste. Yeah, these are all the waste which are happening right now. I said that is problem number 1. Second problem is that you need to change the basis of commission paid to staff. Right now, you are giving them bonus for the recipes which get approved. Now, because of that, Every staff member tries to recommend recipes. Every staff member tries to make his recipes in order to get it approved. And that is why there is too much rush in the kitchen, and that is why there is too much clutter in your material warehouse also. Yeah, so you need to change the basis of commission paid to staff. Currently the staff receives commissions for recipes approved irrespective of the cost incurred in implementing such recipes. Even though the recipe is good, even though the food item seems to be good, but what if the cost of making that item turns out to be very expensive? Then that recipe is of no use. Yeah, so right now you are giving commission to the staff based on the approved recipes irrespective of the cost of implementing such recipes. Also, this will lead to huge cost burden on the firm, leading to negative cost benefit. Yeah, so therefore, rather than acting on staff suggestions, purchases should be made based on requisitions from production department. Obviously, material purchase is not to be decided by the staff, it has to be decided by the production department. Right now what is happening, that whichever staff member thinks of a new recipe, he will say that my recipe requires this material, you order this material. That's not done. There should be a centralized ordering and handled by one purchase manager, and that also will depend on your production requirements. Okay? So FSR purchasing is happening right now. That is a problem. And third problem in this company is a disorganized warehouse. There is so much clutter inside the warehouse that things are not very easy to find. Things are not even getting maintained properly. And the reason behind that disorganized warehouse is over involvement of staff in purchase activity. Everybody is purchasing materials because everybody is making recipes. Okay? So there has to be limited access to warehouse, which will keep it in more organized form. You can also suggest 5S for storage and organization of the warehouse. You know that 5S. Yeah, so you can suggest 5S model for getting the warehouse more organized. So now this is my first answer. First answer was about what are we doing wrong. Second answer is that is there any way to continue the current business? Current business means which business? We're talking about meals and sandwiches, because the rest of the three anyways they are going to continue, because the remaining three they are anyways doing good. What is not doing good is sandwiches and meals. So is there any way to continue that sandwiches and meals? Let's see. Right now you have trouble with the sandwiches and meals part. Mainly for what reason? Mainly you have the trouble right now because you're focusing, because the customers are not happy. So I suggest that you should plan your focus on customer satisfaction. The company will be able to continue its current production activity instead of switching over to just retailing. They have 5 products right now. Yes. Out of which 3 products are just purchased and served at a margin. Yeah. So 3 products are simply trading, 2 products are manufacturing. So the first one, sandwich. Okay, first one is not actually here, sandwich. First they are talking about this, the meals part. So first of all, I say that the sandwich business got a hit due to quality compromise in meals. Due to quality compromise in meal business, and thus to revive this business, we must not only control quality of sandwiches, but also reboost the customers, trust of customers in the train meals. They have just mentioned that my sandwich business has suffered because of bad quality in the meal. So you need to improve that quality in the meal business. Beverage business is still good, so nothing to do there. Frozen food and desserts business is also pretty well, but you can just think of analyzing make versus buy proposal in that. Right now you are simply buying out all the frozen food and desserts. You just evaluate that is it suitable to make them in your company or not. Just a suggestion. But main suggestion pertains to the meal business, because this is the place where I have gone wrong. So for the meal business, how to revive this business? Well, meal business can be revived simply by following the 3 suggestions. 3 suggestions which I gave earlier here. Which 3? First suggestion was to implement just-in-time production. Second suggestion I gave here was to change the base of paying commission. And the third suggestion I gave was to get the warehouse organized. Yeah, so those three suggestions will probably help the meal business to pick up better and get the trust of the customers back. Just in time implement करना, systematic purchases, organized storages, ठीक है. And the third question they asked was that we need to save cost and regain loss of customers. How to do that? Okay, how to save cost and how to regain the trust of customers. So regaining customer confidence is not rocket science for JTI since it has successfully proved its success in the past. Well, your company already had a very good trust for customers. Recently, you have lost the customer trust because of that meal business. Yes, so you simply change the mistakes that you do, you will get the trust of the customers back. It needs to perform as per the customer's expectations. You need a proper, complete re engineering of the way you do the business. Commission paid should be based on customer satisfaction, not based on the recipes approved. Customers will be asked to rate their experience with the food. You can ask the customers to give ratings for the food and for the staff services, and accordingly, you improvise based on the customer ratings. To deliver meals to the customer on a train, you can have a transport mechanism. You can try to save that transport cost so that you don't have to stock the food items at the railway station. You need to redesign the entire meal preparation process so that there is less storage and that there is less wastage, so that you don't have haphazard n number of recipes for making the food items. Okay, McDonald's. We have talked about McDonald's during our regular classes, if you know the example. Yeah, McDonald's deals with hardly 10 items in their menu. They have hardly 10 items in their menu, but they focus on only these 10 items to make them with utmost best quality. Yeah. So instead of preparing so many different recipes, you focus on maybe some good recipes and make it really good. That is the suggestion here. Anyways, that was your third suggestion. That was case number 3. Done? Yes. Yeah, I'll just give you a minute to go through that and then we go to the next case. In fact, I'll just slide through my notes here back again if you want to copy the highlights that I have made here. You can copy the highlighting work that I have done so that it'll be faster for you to revise that later. Yes, one more case. Case number 8. Let's see. Now, this case has a very long, unnecessary story that they have given. I will cut to the chase. I will not go for reading the entire case story, but I'll just give you a summary of what this case is about. This case is again about a restaurant business. Yeah, that is again about a restaurant business, and they have given you some details about the restaurant, how good the restaurant is, and this, that. But the main focus here is the problems. What problems are the restaurant currently facing? Well, let's see. They have given the problems faced by the company in terms of the comments made by the customers. Yeah, the owner heard his customers' conversation. Customer Mike is complaining about he has to wait so long for getting his orders. The customer Devin, is complaining that there is so much crowd and it feels claustrophobic having to dine among so much crowded place in the restaurant. Okay. And the third customer, John, is also suggesting same that the waiting time is ridiculously long. Yeah. In short, your customers are currently facing problem, currently having a complaints that they have to wait very long and they face so much crowd in the restaurant. And you notice that nowadays in COVID times, we are all afraid of being in a crowded place. Yeah, maybe not afraid, but now we have got habituated to be in a place which is less crowded. Yeah, and in a country like India, obviously it is very difficult to find such place because we are a crowded country. Yep. But anyways, let's see. The lines got bigger on Fridays and weekends since the cleaning boy and his partner used old cleaning techniques and were reasonably slow. So problem number 1, you are using old cleaning techniques because of which you are very slow. You are not using any modern machinery for doing the cleaning work and all. Okay? Because of dearth in finances, that is shortage of finances, enough staff could not be placed at required locations, which turned things chaotic. So I'm just listing down the problems why the customers have this complaint. And number 1 is that their cleaning techniques are old. Number 2, they have less staff, not enough staff. Further, number 3, they have outdated equipment to prepare the food stuff. Okay, the food preparation equipments are also outdated. There are many equipments needed to prepare food, like mixer is needed, or maybe blenders are needed, or maybe oven is needed. All these equipments that they are using are also very old, outdated. Outdated equipments are used to prepare the food. And you have number 4, manual cleaning of dishes. Yes, so your cleaning techniques, cleaning of the restaurant was also very old technique, and cleaning of the dishes is also manual. They don't have a dishwasher. Most of the restaurants will have dishwashing machines so that they can save time on the cleaning work, and that dishwasher will actually wash the dishes in a more cleaner, more better way. Yeah, but these people, they are using still manual cleaning of dishes. Also the cleaning, also they had to clean the equipment manually before every use. Yes, so not just the dishes, they also have to clean the equipment manually before every use. Some items like onion garlic paste, boiling of vegetables, chilies, sauces and pickles ought to have been prepared before the restaurant opened for guests. Yes, some basic gravy items should be prepared before the guests come into the restaurant, but they are not doing such things. No such arrangement was in place. That is my problem number 6. That they have not made any pre-preparations. Some raw materials were in short supply, where some were more than the demand, which perished. So your raw material supply is also not organized. Some raw materials are in shortage, some raw materials are in excess quantity, so that it goes perished. That is my problem number 7. Raw material supply is the problem number 7. You have 3 chefs, each specialized in a given cuisine. 3 chefs and who are specialized. Because they are specialized, they are not groomed to switch efforts. So if one chef is specializing in sandwiches, then he can make only sandwiches. He cannot make, say, curry, because they are specialized in their given cuisine only. They are not groomed to switch efforts in times of necessity. They were but uh, they but were asked to do this anyways. Now imagine if a sandwich expert who has no expertise in making curry is forcefully asked to make curry because you are running short of time, because customer is complaining about the delay. So you ask the curry guy to make sandwich, you ask the sandwich guy to make curry, then obviously the quality will deteriorate and the results were atrocious. This is also a problem. Chefs being specialized, not groomed to switch efforts. So, so I hope you realize that what all different kinds of problems they are facing. I've just counted 8 different problems in this company. Look, such cases are the most easiest to answer, because while writing your answer, you can clearly point out the mistakes which the company has. Look, giving suggestions to your client is very easy when you can clearly see what mistakes he has done. But if you don't see that he has done any mistakes and still his business is suffering, then it is difficult to answer his question. But this client is a very easy client. You can easily answer that these are the mistakes you are doing. So clean up the mistakes, then your business will run good. Okay? So sometimes the guest found the tomato soup containing odd ingredients like mushrooms or potatoes, and sometimes guests also claim that 100% vegetarian dish was found to comprise of fish and chicken remnants. That is horrible. Imagine a vegetarian customer is given a dish which contains some non-veg items. That will lead to tremendous bad publicity. In short, the problem is that there is lack of communication also. Yeah, the situation called for significant quality issues on the processing of food. They are calling this as quality issues in processing of food. Problem number 9. The lax kitchen staff had the customer request on their table which they did not accede in the order. Customer made some particular request. Customer made some particular request, like say, I generally request in a restaurant that you make my food without onions. I don't like onions personally. Yeah. So when I give that request to the restaurant people, then the kitchen staff are so lax that they do not follow these requests. That is again a problem. Customer requests are not followed properly. Another problem, billing machine was not modern. Okay. Another problem, supervisor does not care to advise the waiter. The supervisor was found snuggling in his chair. आराम से बैठा है. Supervisor is just relaxing in his chair. He does not care to advise the waiters regarding how to perform, how well to give services. So the complaints were given directly to the restaurant manager. The customers were reporting the complaints directly to the restaurant manager, who was also the owner. Yeah. Also, the staff took leave on weekends. Now, this is a big problem. Restaurant business is mainly generating revenues during weekends. How can the staff take leave on weekends? Staff are generally taking leave on weekends and returned on Tuesdays. So definitely because of that, you are having shortage of staff, and because of that, there is delay in the products. Okay? Hygiene of the place is also questionable. Look, the company, this restaurant, has done everything wrong. Like whatever is possible to do wrong, they have done it wrong. Yeah. You see, the list of problems is not ending here. Okay, finally it ends. So, question what they are asking? They're asking, discuss which managerial technique could be used to turn things around as Mr. Bean wants. Mr. Bean is the owner. And how this could be done. Recommend improvement techniques in each area of disparity. You recommend suggestions for each problem that they have given. Okay? So, which managerial technique could be used? Basically, you see that the company is facing problem of having defects in services. Yes, they have many defects, they have many problems in their restaurant services. So I suggest them that they need to prevent those defects. Quality issues are there. And it is not just in some phases, but there are quality issues in all the activities that the company is doing. And when defect is the primary issue that you face, then TQM is your technique. Along with TQM, more important one is Six Sigma. Yes, I have drafted the answer here considering Six Sigma as the answer. Yeah, so I'm giving suggestions regarding Six Sigma. Quality issue in service, on the other hand, means variation in the customer's standard experience. Okay, and Six Sigma involves these phases. These are the different phases involved in Six Sigma: D, M, A, I, C. You had two approaches in Six Sigma, if you remember: DMAIC and DMADV approach. Yeah, here I'm suggesting DMAIC approach: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Okay. So let's see what does come in each stage now. First of all, D stands for define. Define means you identify the problems. I've just made a list of all the problems that the company is facing. What are the complaints that they are facing? They have problem of waiting time. They have problem that staff communication is not good. They have problem that the food ordered is not as per the descriptions. The chefs prepare as per their skill set only. You want to reduce the processing time of the food, and you want to resolve the hygiene concerns. These are the main problems. So identify what all problems, identify the process that needs improvement, that is defined. Measure. Measure means you measure the severity of the problem. You measure the severity of the problem. It requires effective data collection, and you can compare that data against the standard. So how will I measure the level of severity right now? Well, these are the suggestions. You can count the number of customers leaving because of waiting. You can count the number of unhappy customers who did not return back. Yeah. Uh, Number of complaints reported, you count the wait time per customer. Yeah. Average food processing time you can measure, count the number of accidents, count the complaints against the food quality and all. These are different ways to measure your performance. Analyze means you find the root cause of these problems. But to find the root cause of these problems, they suggest that you itemize the entire restaurant service process. You itemize, you identify the cause in each stage of your service process. They have given an entire list of activities involved in the restaurant business service. Entire list of activities given involved, right, starting from right when the customer enters the restaurant. The reception will greet the customers and ask them to wait, and table cleaning, and eventually the guests are called for calls the guests in the order for their arrival and all. In short, it starts from the customer entering the restaurant until the guest will pay the bill, leave the restaurant, and the cleaning team again starts cleaning. Yes, these are all the stages involved in a restaurant business. Analyze means that you analyze each of these stages to find out that which stage am I doing wrong. Find out the root cause of your problems. You identify value added, non-value added activities. Then comes the improve phase. Yes, improvement means you recommend alternatives and implement them. Now, this will be your longest discussion. Improve means you recommend what all things they should do. So I've given many recommendations here based on the problems that we saw. You saw the problems that they're using old cleaning techniques. Recommend them to use new modern cleaning techniques. Yeah, recommend them to use say a dishwasher machine for washing the dishes and all. Okay. The staff are not well groomed and they have lack appealing strategies, so you need to provide training to the staff. Also, you need to improve staff coordination, motivate them to work as a team. You need to hire additional staff because ultimately you are having shortage of staff. Also, the staff were taking leaves on weekends, which you should prevent. The staff's effort in the process is recognized and rewarded. You will have to motivate them so that they get more active in their work. If they work with efficacy during their normal hours, then need of overtime would also reduce. Okay? These are all the suggestions with respect to improving staff coordination. So first set of suggestion was that you give training to the staff. Second, improve the staff coordination. Third, suggestion pertains to the finance requirement. Finance requirement can be fulfilled by building up good credibility among the customers, such that an effective business plan itself can propel the lenders to provide required finances. If your customers are happy, business is good, then lenders will be happy to lend you money. Okay? Kitchen staff work productively rather than working laboriously. You need to make them work more productively. Three chefs sounds like a real short supply of cooks. If you're running a multi-cuisine restaurant, then you should have more than multiple chefs, more than three chefs might be needed. There should be no compromise in food quality. There should be a fixed processing time for both simple and complex items so that there is no delay in processing the food. We need to organize the kitchen equipment and the food ingredients. You can use that 5S methodology for that. You know what is that 5S? Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain. Yeah, you can prefix startup items like sauces, pickles, and all those things you saw in the question, the problems, same suggestions you put over here. You put suggestion for every problem mentioned in the question. Yeah, so you suggest them to pre-prepare certain startup items, suggest them to have more innovative cleaning ideas to make the place more hygienic. Bring automatic scanners for manual instead of manual entry of order details so that billing will be easier, so that order taking will also be faster. And finally, control phase is just to put into practice the policies developed. Okay? Yes, so that was just a general kind of answer there. That is your case number 8. Nothing much to discuss there. It is just giving suggestions for every single problem mentioned in the question. We counted a total 14 problems in the question. In your solution, you just give a recommendation against every single problem there. Okay. Again, take a minute. I can show you the highlighting that I have done. If you want to copy the highlighting, starting from here, you can do. Please realize that when you draft your answers of case study in the exam, it is not necessary that your answer should have the exact same wordings, same kind of content that is there in this case study digest. Consider this digest is just a suggestion for extra practice. I don't expect a direct question from the case study digest, and even if the question comes direct, they don't expect you to have the same exact same answer in your exam. Case studies will never have exact same answers from any two students. There is no exact correct answer in any case studies. It is not about answering the case correctly, it is about how convincing your answer appears to be. Yes, do remember that. Okay, one more case. Let us see, and this will be again a fast paced case that we will see. Case number 9. Now, I'll just give you a short summary of the case because it's again giving lots of long stories there. Mrs. Gates is your client, and she has a question regarding her son. She wants her son to start college, and she is confused between two colleges. She has given data about both the colleges, and she wants your help in choosing that which college is best for her son. Okay? The two college options that is there that they have is a college called DCC and another college called HCI. Yeah, and they have given comparison between these two colleges. Yeah, but first they have just told that what kind of college she wants. Yeah, Mrs. Gates is your client, and her son's name is, yeah, her son's name is Mr. Dude. Wow, yeah, naam hai. Okay, so she wants Dude to be in a college that had history of good academics. They have just she is just first describing her requirements. Then she is describing the two colleges which she is looking for, and she has also done her research on these two colleges. But she wants you to convince her son regarding choosing the best college. ठीक है? देखो सीए बन के ये भी काम करना पड़ता है. Yeah. She wants you to be in a college that had history of good academics, focusing on all-round development of the student, also meeting the needs of being flexible for a busy student life. She was low on her budget, therefore she wanted someone, or if the college itself could help her in the financing. Okay? She wanted her son to learn some aspects of that life, of the upstate life, so that he could adjust with the fast pace and stride with the passing time. Okay? Two eminent colleges in the city, each providing accounting, economics, and taxation course are there, but Dude has little interest in economics, so you'll not force him to jump in. Okay? Instead, there are two colleges, DCC and HCI. So they have given details about both the colleges. Both the colleges had a well renovated huge college campus where the student outside the city could also stay within the campus. The city was pretty expensive, and so were the colleges. Colleges were also quite expensive. Both colleges are expensive. However, DCC took in students with weak financial standing but with strong academics. The DCC has some policy to take maybe what they call give discounted fare or discounted fees to the students who have very good academics. Scholarship they might be giving. That is in DCC. What about HCI? HCI college, on the other hand, was also down to earth. In fact, HCI charged relatively low fees. They don't have any such scholarship program, but their basic fees itself are relatively lower as compared to DCC. Okay? Okay, from the last few years, the students were complaining about rapidly increasing tuition rates. Students even went on a strike demanding a rate cut. but the colleges could not decrease the tuition rates because they had to maintain their cost structure and all. So the students decided to switch to a mix of part-time lectures and part-time job. Well, if colleges were not decreasing their tuition fees, so the students planned to get an extra stream of revenue earning so that they can pay the college fees. But they required the college to plan the class schedules innovatively so that the students' studies do not get hampered, and at the same time they can continue their jobs also. Now, because the college was not reducing the fees, so the students requested the college that at least you schedule the classes such that we can continue the part-time job. And the colleges were ready to do that. Both the colleges were trying to come up with online courses and distant learning materials so that they can assist the students even when they are doing part-time job. HCI, additionally, is also planning on hiring additional freelancers to work with the students during evening time to groom their skills and assist them in doing well in their studies. So who gets a better edge over here? HCI seems to be a better college with respect to this factor that they are at least giving some extra service. Look, until now, everything was similar in both the colleges. Fees were different. HCI had relatively low fees. HCI is also having hugely renovated campus, but HCI is hiring additional freelancers to work with the students. Okay? Reward system of colleges is not clear. How they reward the faculties, how they reward the teachers, it's not clear at all. The total revenue generated in the city from college business is around 500 lakhs. This is like market size. The total college revenue in the city, meaning total revenue of all colleges in the city, is total 500 lakhs. This becomes the market size, and out of that 500 lakhs total revenue generated by all colleges, revenue generated by DCC is 180 lakhs and HCI is 110 lakhs. Yes, so you notice that this would give market share. Which college seems to have more market share in terms of revenue? Well, out of 500 lakhs, DCC is having 180 lakhs, and out of that same 500, HCI is having 110 lakhs. So naturally, it seems that DCC has more market share. Yes, seems like DCC is having a bigger market share. Dude developed a solidarity among his class friends and decided to go to DCC because his other friends were also wanting to go there. Now this is but natural. Yeah, so many of you have also taken your career decisions based on what your friends are doing. That is very common in most of the people, most of the students in your age. And I don't say that there is wrong in that. It is not wrong to choose your career based on what your friends are doing. But yeah, it is important to choose your friends correctly then. Yes, if you have chosen good friends, then your career decision based on them will probably turn out to be good. Okay? So that depends on what kind of friends you have. And this guy, he has chosen to go to DCC because all his friends were going to DCC. However, Kates was concerned that dude could spoil his career if he concentrated on picking things other than his studies. Naturally, she wanted someone to guide her based on the facts and figures of both the colleges and all, and so she is coming to you for her for suggestions. Okay? Now, then they have given just some story there. The high-level language with high-level English and high-level emotional story they have given that we are not getting into. But they are asking your suggestion based on the building block model. You know the building block model, chapter number 7. Yeah. They are asking your suggestion based on building block model. They are asking, could the building block model be applied to her case? If yes, explain the model in brief. Explain the model. So explain the theory of the model. And then evaluate performance of the two prominent colleges. Now you evaluate these two colleges based on the building block model. And for that matter, you're also given this annexure. See, this annexure contains the details about both the colleges, DCC and HCI. Let's see what kind of details do we have. They have given number of inquiries for admission and the students turning up for admission. Out of inquiries, how many turned up for admission? In DCC, out of 7,800 actual inquiries, 6,000 turned up for admission, and in HCI, out of 7,900 inquiries, 7,600 turned up for admission. So don't you see that the admission ratio is better over here in HCI? Yes, for HCI, the admission ratio is better, that most of the inquiries are taking admission here. Probably it is because of less fees, or probably it is because of the other things which are good in HCI. We don't know. Percentage increase in their revenue is given, okay? Net profit is given for both, okay? You see that HCI has lesser revenue, HCI has lesser profit also, HCI has lesser number of lecturers also. Yeah. But they are hiring additional lecturers for evening classes, that is extra, that is over and above this. Okay. Number of teaching days in a year is 250, but number of days lecturers received, meaning number of days that you have actually taught, is 240 here and 230 here. Okay. Students passing is more in HCI, and students getting job is also significantly more in HCI. So these two things also suggest that HCI seems to be much good here. In general, my conclusion will be that HCI is a better college. Dude is thinking of going to DCC. Why? Because dude's friends are going to DCC. Yeah, you need to convince him that why HCI is better. You need to show him the comparison points over here, that in which areas is HCI better. Okay. Now, why am I suggesting building block model? Because basically this question is about a service industry. Yeah, the question pertains to colleges. Colleges are not manufacturing goods, they are providing services, educational services. And for service sector, you know that in case of service sector, building block model is always a good suggestion. And then they have given theory of building block model. It involves evaluating performance under 3 blocks, which are as follows. Evaluate performance under 3 areas, that is dimensions which contain results and determinants, okay? Standards and rewards. This part here is just the basic theory of building block model. I am not discussing that because we've done that many times in our class. Yeah. So this is the basic theory of building block model. And second is your evaluation, that out of the 2 colleges which turns out to be better. Well, I evaluate these 2 colleges again based on the building block model. As for building block model, we will describe dimensions and standards and rewards. But you know, for these 2 colleges, in the college data, you are not given any data regarding standards and rewards. In fact, you are clearly told that the rewards system followed by the college is not very clear. So my answer will contain suggestions, my answer will contain analysis only with respect to dimensions part. And within dimensions, I will show these 6 items. Financial performance, comparative performance of both the colleges, quality, flexibility, resource utilization, and innovation. We just have to suggest, we just have to think that for college business, what is financial performance? What is comparative performance? Let's see. Well, in case of colleges, financial performance will involve percentage increase in revenue and net profit. DCC remains best performer in this case because they have better profit, they have better revenue, although it performs inadequately in other measures, meaning even though it is having good profits, it is not performing good in other measures. This means that this may suggest that it is not then not be making necessary investment in service and quality of the customers. Okay? Competitiveness. Well, competitiveness can be measured by measuring the number of students inquiring, and from that finally how many turning up as admission. So take up ratio you can say. Take up means how many inquiries are finally taking up admission. Well, that take up rate is much higher in HCI, probably because the fees charged by HCI is low. But in case of competitiveness, you can also comment on the market share, which is better in GCC right now. Quality aspect of the college is the quality of tutoring. Now, tutoring quality can be measured by number of students passing out and number of students getting job. Well, with that respect, HCI is lot better. Flexibility. Flexibility, well, HCI seems to be more flexible because they have planned to hire freelance lecturers to help the students during evening classes. That will make the things more flexible for the students. If the students miss the morning classes, they can attend evening classes with the freelance faculties to get their doubts cleared. That is basically giving flexibility. Resource utilization. Resource utilization can be measured in terms of the number of days available and number of days actually served. Well, in that case, DCC has a better resource utilization ratio. Also, there is a staff shortage in HCI. You have less staff in HCI, which shows that they have not utilized the resources better. Innovation. Innovation in case of colleges can be what? Well, innovation is the innovation in bringing online courses, distant courses, virtual classes, and all that falls under innovation part. Yeah. Conclusion is that considering all these factors, it seems like HCI delivers a better quality of service. This is what you tell to dude. Maybe he will get convinced to join HCI. Huh? Yes, that is my case number 9. I hope this fast summary of cases is actually helping you. I'll go through that again. You can mark the highlights. And then after this, we'll discuss some practical questions. Enough cases. Next, we'll discuss 2 practical questions. Yes. Okay. Next, we'll try to discuss some questions, practical questions. Question 1 and 2 we had discussed in the previous class. Now I'll go further with question number 3. Yes, please. Question 3. Microlight Limited, Acha, and this question you will find on page number 109 in the ICAI Case Study Digest. Page 109. Question 3. Microlight Limited engaged in manufacturing of casting and capping of PVC pipes used for electronic fittings, which they supplied to various parts of the country using well-diversified distribution of network of distributors. MLL was established by Mr. Raheja around 10 years back. Since then, competition is continuously increasing in the market as new players entered in the market who are ready to sell similar products at relatively low prices. New players sell similar products at relatively low prices. That is a problem. Raheja is actively participating in business and holds the position of CEO. And being a CA by profession, he conducts regular meetings with management accountant department. In order to beat competition, MLL decide to reduce cost and enhance efficiency. Okay, so what they want to do is they want to reduce cost and enhance efficiency by implementing strategic cost management techniques such as cellular manufacturing. Yes, the question is about cellular manufacturing. Now you might be wondering, that's a cellular manufacturing. How does this have a practical question? Well, this is not as such a full-fledged practical question. It is a kind of theory with a very small set of practical calculation. Let's see. So they are suggesting to implement cellular manufacturing. Mr. Rastogi, who joined the company recently as management accountant, is very enthusiastic about cellular manufacturing and considers the same as scientific way of production. Okay, he considers cellular manufacturing as a scientific way of production. He added that it will enhance the value creation over the value chain. According to him, cellular manufacturing is a significant tool to achieve process cycle efficiency. Process cycle efficiency is just another name for manufacturing cycle efficiency. We have learned it under the name MCE, manufacturing cycle efficiency. You remember what does MCE mean? MCE was the value added time divided by the total cycle time. Out of my total cycle time, total production time, how much hours did I waste on value added things? Rest all the time was spent on non-value added activities. That ratio was called as MCE, and they say that cellular manufacturing will help you to improve that MCE ratio. Well, this will be the practical calculation involved. Remember, what does cellular manufacturing mean? Cellular manufacturing means that you bring your machines together into one cell. You bring similar machines together under one cell, arrange them in that U-shaped design so that one worker can watch all the machines simultaneously. One worker can handle multiple machines simultaneously. Okay? Rastogi makes a plan for rearranging the existing machines and human resources who are working on the machines. So they will rearrange the machines and the workers who are handling those machines. Process is also re-engineered along with the restructuring of the production layout. Naturally, if the machine's layout is changed, then your production process will also be now re-engineered. Like it will be done in a different way then. But Raheja is skeptical about this benefit of cellular manufacturing, so he is asking Rastogi agreed to the rearrangement plan, but in a phased manner. Yeah, so Raheja agreed to the rearrangement plan, but in a phased manner. Right now, they are planning to do this in only one particular department. The next phase will be granted only if during the testing phase the MCE improved by minimum 15%. This is your target. Your process cycle efficiency should improve by minimum 15%. Okay? Let's see the calculation. Before implementing cellular manufacturing, these are the time spent in minutes. After implementing cellular manufacturing, these are the time spent in minutes. Out of all these items, tell me which item is value added. Well, moving time, inspection time, storage time, none of them are value added. All of them are NVA, non-value added. Only value added item is the processing time. Yes, so my total time here, add them up: 70, 40, 60, 80, 100 and 150, 250. Total is 250 hours. Sorry, select. So before implementing cellular manufacturing, my total cycle time was 250 hours, out of which 80 hours is the value added time. So convert that into percentage, it will give you MCE. 80 divided by 250, 32% is the MCE. Presently, before implementing cellular manufacturing. After implementing cellular manufacturing, the total time turns out to be how much? 40 and 10, 50, plus 25 is 75, and 15 is 90. 90, is it? Yeah. And out of total 90 hours, 90 minutes that you spend, 40 minutes are spent in value added. So you see that significant portion is now value added. 40 divided by 90 is 44.44%. Well, your target was that MCE should improve by minimum 15%. Now, how is that 15% measured? It is not 32 plus 15. No, it has to be 32 plus 15%. 32 plus 15% of 32. If you do, what will I get? Let's see. 32 plus 15% of 32. 32 plus 15% should become 36.8. Well, are you getting your MCE more than that 36.8? Yes, your MCE turns out to be even more than that 36.8. Yes. So yes, your MCE has reached the target. Do you understand this? This is the only calculation involved. Rest everything involved here is just theory. Let's see. First question, they're asking, explain why Rastogi considers cellular manufacturing as a scientific way of production. This is just theory. Cellular manufacturing is a scientific way of production because the cellular manufacturing will aim to eliminate time delay and to eliminate the transportation. You remember we have done this during our regular theory that cellular manufacturing is a method of time and motion study. I've even taken YouTube classes for cellular manufacturing. You can find them on YouTube somewhere. Yeah. It is a method of time and motion study, and a time and motion study is a scientific study. Okay. Anyways, that is a general theory there. Second question they are asking is assess whether the outcome of testing phase is sufficient or not as to the expectation of Raheja. Well, in that second part, calculations are shown. Calculations are shown that you had 32% first, now we have 44%, and yes, that increase is more than 15% that you wanted. Yeah, if that increase is more than 15%, so yes, cellular manufacturing has turned out to be beneficial in the company. Now, that is your question number 3. Yeah. Next, we go for question 4. Question 3 was a pretty short and sweet question, but question 4 is also a short one. Let's see. Kona Precise Solutions manufactures switchgear and specifically designed electricity boards which are sold to customers through widespread retailers and distributor networks across the country. CPS enjoys high reputation among the stakeholders, specifically workers. The attrition rate at CPS is relatively lower than the other players in the industry. The reason for low attrition means workers leaving the company. My company has low attrition rate because I'm having employee friendly policies, and more importantly, I'm having a policy of sharing profit with my employees. This question here is specifically regarding a calculation called as profit sharing with the employees. Okay? You have a policy of sharing profit with the employees and employee participation in a decision making. The terms of profit share plan is given below. Now, this is the new part. This is interesting part. You are having a plan to share profit with the employees. But how do you share profit with employees? Let's see. CPS will be responsible to make a profit share pool, which will be equivalent to minimum of the following three limits. So first, you make a profit share pool. You identify some X amount of money to be put in the profit share pool. And then the money that you put in this profit share pool will be distributed among your workers. Yeah. So step one, you decide how much profit should I share with the workers. And for that, they have three limits given, three rules given. You decide that based on these three limits. And then this share pool will be distributed among my workers. Yeah. First, let us see that three limits. What are they? And your money put in the pool will be equivalent to minimum of the three limits, lower of the three limits, whichever is less. Whichever is less. So first limit says 30% of earnings before taxes, but not entire 30% of EBT. 30% of EBT to the extent it is excess of minimum acceptable target profit margin. Yeah. So basically that will be equal to 30% of EBT in excess of minimum target profit. Yes, that much is my first limit. Second limit is 0.75% of gross revenue, or third is absolute amount of 2.5 crores. Out of these, whichever is lowest is what I will pay. In other words, 2.5 crores is the maximum pool amount that you can accumulate. Yes, if these two are higher than a 2.5, then maximum 2.5 is what you will give. Okay? Minimum acceptable target profit margin for this item here, minimum target profit, will be equivalent to average of last 3 years operating profit. Last 3 years ka profit average is my minimum acceptable target profit of this year. The individual employee will be given the share in proportion to the ratio of that employee salary to the total salary of all employees. Yeah. So every employee will now be given share from the pool in the ratio of their salary as compared to total salary of the company. Okay. Additional information now you are given. CPS earnings before taxes 40 crores. Okay. Net operating assets employed is 120 crores. Revenue is 360 crores. Rent relevant payment of salary for the year is 42 crores. And industry's average last 3 years net operating profit are 8% of net operating assets. Okay. Now let's see. Let us identify these limits based on this information here. I'll do that on this side. Chalo. First limit was 30% of EBT. Okay. So 30% of EBT will be 30% of EBT 40 crores. Okay. But that should be in excess of, so minus minimum acceptable target profit. Well, what is minimum acceptable target profit? It is average of last 3 years. Average of last 3 years is 8% of net operating assets. Okay, so average of last 3 years is 8% of net operating assets. Net operating assets you are given is 120. So 8% of 120. 120 into 8% is 9.6 crores. This 9.6 is the minimum acceptable target profit, and that 9.6 should be therefore minus from here. Minimum acceptable target profit. Okay? So how much does this give? 40 into 30% is 12 minus 9.6 is 2.4 crores. Is my first limit. Second limit is 0.75% of gross revenue. Gross revenue you are given here is 360 crores. So 360 into 0.75% is 2.7 crores. And the absolute limit, last limit is absolute amount 2.5 crores. Finally, the pool amount that you will finally use will be whichever is lower. Whichever is lower, 2.4 is the lowest one. 2.4, 2.7, 2.5, lowest is 2.4. That 2.4 becomes your limit. Okay, so 2.4 is my profit share pool. Now from this pool, you will be giving the bonus to every individual employee in the ratio of his salary. Okay. So remember, 2.4 is your total bonus amount. Read further. Required. First, they are asking you to explain the profit share plan. So they're not asking any calculation. They are just asking you to explain what kind of plan the company is following as performance management tool and group incentive plan. Okay. Compute the amount to make available as profit sharing pool by CPS. Well, this we calculated the amount of profit share pool should be 2.4 crores. Further, Mr. Vinny Chukla, who is one of the employees and eligible to participate in the profit share plan, if his annual salary is 36 lakhs, then compute the amount of his profit share. So what will be his share? Well, out of 2.4 crores, this guy will be paid in the ratio of his salary. His salary is 36 lakhs out of total salary of 42 crores. 42 crores is I can say 4200 lakhs. Yeah. In fact, I can convert all of that into lakhs. 2.4 crores. I'll put that as 240 lakhs. So let's see what do we get. 240 lakhs into 36 divided by 4200 is 2.0571. 2.0571 lakhs, 2,05,710 is the bonus that this guy should be given. And then last question they're asking, synthesize profit sharing plan of CPS in order to highlight a major limitation. Well, I see one big limitation here. I see one big limitation in the way they are sharing profit here. You see that Vineet Shukla is getting 2 lakhs of bonus just because his basic salary is 36. So whether he actually did any work or not doesn't matter. His basic salary is 36 lakhs, so he will get bonus of 2 lakhs. Whether he actually did work, whether he actually performed well or did not perform well, look, bonus should be based on your performance, not based on your basic salary. If bonus is based on basic salary, then what is the difference between bonus and basic salary? Bonus is given to motivate the workers to perform well. Now, this does not motivate the worker to perform well. Do you understand this? Yes. So individually, the bonus share of each worker should be decided based on a factor which decides the performance of that worker. Yeah, that is my limitation here. Anyways, let's see. Question 1, explain the profit sharing plan. We'll see that here. Profit sharing plan here is a group incentive plan where bonus is paid based on the reported profit of the company. Okay. So this can be said that a compensation plan is based on short-term performance, because if the bonus is based on profit, meaning the bonus is based on a short-term performance. The profit share plan must define percentage of profit to be shared and who are eligible employees. The ratio of participation of each worker should also be pre-decided. This is the basic meaning of profit share plan. It is used to boost the motivation. Then second part is the calculation, 2.4, 2.7 and 2.5. Whichever is lower, that is 2.4. Third is the share of Mr. Vineet Shukla, that is 2.4 into 36 by 42 gives 2,05,714. And fourth question was the limitation. Limitation here is that the sharing of profit, the share of the profit sharing pool is calculated based on wages, which seems to be wrong. Rather, it should be based on, say, maybe a score scored by the worker as compared to the total score. Yeah. So in short, the sharing should be based on actual performance, not based on just the basic wages. And one more question, we have some time, we can go for question number 5. I'll just give a minute if you have to go through that again. Okay, one last question for today, question number 5. This question is a very easy one. We have done a similar question in a class. Yeah, the question is regarding JIT. It has two aspects, JIT purchasing and JIT production. What does that mean? JIT purchasing means it pertains to material. It pertains to ordering materials only when required. And JIT production pertains to producing finished goods. Producing finished goods only when required. Yeah. To understand JIT, you should also understand the opposite of JIT. What will be opposite of JIT purchasing? JIT purchasing says that you order materials only when required. Opposite of that would be that you order materials on a regular interval. Like say you order materials in terms of EOQ. Look, EOQ, economic order quantity, you order fixed quantity of material at a regular interval of time, irrespective of how much material you actually need. Yes, that is opposite of JIT purchasing. Similarly, JIT production means that you produce finished goods only to the extent of demand. Opposite of that will be regular production. Regular production, like every month you produce 100 units, irrespective of monthly demand. That would become your non-JIT production. This question here is just asking you to compare both non-JIT purchasing versus JIT purchasing. And then part 3, you compare non-JIT production with JIT production, and we will do simply a cost benefit analysis there. Okay? You just have to identify that what is the net benefit of JIT. And we have done exact same questions in class to find the net benefit of JIT. Okay? We have done separate questions for JIT purchasing and JIT production. Here they have asked both in the same question. Let's see. Question 5. Delight Engineering Solutions DES is manufacturing product CAF5 from use of a single raw material CAI 100. This is the finished goods, this is the material. The two major departments operational in the company are purchase and production. Companies facing high competition due to large number of competitors in the market. The demand for product is fluctuating. Therefore, high storage cost is the prime cause of low financial performance. Well, storage cost is the prime cause, and you know that when storage cost is the prime problem, then definitely JIT will help. Yeah, definitely JIT system has to help in that case. So the company decided to move from traditional system to JIT system. From purchase and store, following data is collected. So now this table here is giving you all details about purchases, meaning all details about materials are given over here. Yes, both these paragraphs pertain to raw material purchases. Let's see. Annual consumption is 1800 units. List price of each material is 4000. The cost of placing order is 2000, and the carrying cost for 1 unit for a year is 12%. You remember, these are the data which you have seen in your materials chapter in interlevel. Yeah, company presently use EOQ model for ordering. So let us do some calculations here. So for this paragraph, this is what? This is my non-JIT purchasing. Currently, the company is doing non-JIT purchasing. Non-JIT means you order based on EOQ. EOQ will say that you order this quantity at every regular interval of time. Yeah. So what is EOQ in this company? Let us find. You know how to find EOQ? There is 2 into A into CO divided by CI, where 1800 units is A. This cost of placing order is ordering cost CO, and this into this is your CI. ET becomes your CI. Use that, will find the EOQ. So 2 into 1800 into 2000 is ordering cost, not 1200, sorry. divide by 80 square root. So 300 is the EOQ. And if 300 is the EOQ, then with that EOQ, you can therefore find total ordering cost plus total carrying cost. This is precisely from your CA inter-level concept. Ordering cost will be total annual consumption, 1800 units, and every order is of 300 units. So 1800 divided by 300 gives you number of orders, 6. And for each of that 6 orders, you will incur ordering cost of 2000. Plus carrying cost will be formalized quantity, order quantity divided by 2 into CI, 80 rupees. So this makes 12,000 and 12,000 total of 24,000. In short, my non-JIT purchasing cost is 24,000. Let us see the JIT cost also then. In case of JIT purchasing, what will be the cost? Read further. The purchase manager further estimated that if JIT is implemented, then ordering cost will increase by 50% from the current level. What is current ordering cost here? This much amount only. 6 into 2000 is 12,000. If this is 12,000, then under JIT this will increase by 50%. 12,000 plus 50% makes it 18,000 ordering cost. Whereas carrying cost can be avoided up to 90%. Avoided 90% meaning from this carrying cost, it will reduce 90%. Your carrying cost here, this much was again 12,000. From 12,000 minus 90%. So what will remain is only 1,200 under JIT. But there is a prospective order of 5 units which can't be served due to non-availability of stock and failure of delivery. You know that if JIT is followed, then there might remain chances of stock out. If there is a stock out, then you will lose 5 units sale. And if you lose sale, if you lose a prospective order of 5 units, so you will lose contribution on that 5 units. Contribution from each unit is 1,200. So 5 units on which you lose 1,200. 5 into 1,200, 6,000 rupees is contribution lost. Plus 6,000 contribution lost. However, in case of JIT, your stock insurance cost will reduce by 400. Okay. And there will also be reduction in working capital that will give you interest savings of 500. So stock insurance reduce 400, interest saving of 500. Both are savings. So minus karna. Let's see what does this give. 18,000 plus 1,200 plus 6,000 minus 400 minus 600. Okay, minus 400 minus 500 gives 24,300. So compare which is better. Under JIT, my cost is 24,300. Under non-JIT purchasing, cost was 24,000. Well, yes, non-JIT was better. Your cost is lesser over here, more over here. So non-JIT was better. Suggestion: is it suitable to implement JIT in material purchasing? No. Material purchasing should still be done by EOQ method. But that doesn't mean JIT production is also bad. JIT purchasing was bad. JIT production we should check. Read further. JIT production. This paragraph here pertains to finished goods production. Further, production and engineering department supported by marketing department provided details that presently average production is 150 units per month. Although for the next 4 months, expected demand is this. So you notice that your production is 150 per month, but demand in next 4 months is different. So every month has different demand, but you are producing same 150 every month. Maximum capacity from man hours perspective is 150 units. So if you have to produce more than 150 units, like over here and over here, then you will have to do overtime. Yeah, if your maximum capacity is 150 units, so whenever you have to produce more than 150, you will have to pay extra overtime wages. You remember we have done this in our classwork question. In case of non-JIT production, you incur storage cost. But in case of JIT production, you will incur overtime cost. You just have to compare that storage cost of non-JIT with the overtime cost under JIT. Okay? 20 hours are required for producing each unit, and labor rate is 3 per hour. Casual labor is not available in the market. Now this is important. Casual labor is not available in the market. Means what? Therefore, only permanent labor we have. So my company has only permanent labor. There is no casual labor available in the market. Therefore, whenever you have to do overtime, you cannot hire new workers for that. You have to make the existing permanent labor do overtime. Now, if they are made to do overtime, then they will have to be paid overtime rate at 200%. So for overtime, you will pay them how much? Your regular rate was 3 per hour for the permanent labor. So during overtime, you have to pay them 200%. So you'll have to pay them 6 per hour. Now, because these guys are permanent labor, so their basic salary is not gonna change. Because of JIT production, you will have to pay extra 6 rupees per hour whenever you need extra production. Yeah, so your basic salary is still paid, plus additionally you will pay them 6 rupees per hour for all the extra production. Okay. And cost of storage you are given is 65. Now this part over here is exactly like we have done in our classwork question. I will not solve that. I will rather just show you the solution there. So first question is explain JIT. So basic theory of JIT is given there that you can read. Second question we already solved. You calculate EOQ 300 and you compare the cost between both the systems. You got 24 and 24 300, so 24 is better. JIT should be rejected. And the second question, you calculate carrying cost in the present situation. Present situation means non-JIT. Non-JIT, you start from opening stock, add production, less demand will give you closing stock. You find the average stock and you will incur storage cost 65 rupees on that average stock. Add them up, my total storage cost is this. While under JIT, if your demand is this, then production will be exactly same. But the capacity is 150. Call this as capacity. Capacity is only 150. So in my second month, you see there is a shortage of 10 units. In the fourth month, you see there is a shortage of 30 units. This shortage, 10 and 30, will be manufactured during overtime. And these 10 units, 30 units require 20 hours each. So 200 and 600 hours will be paid overtime 6 rupees per hour. So my total overtime cost 4,800 here. Storage cost 5,200 here. Yes, JIT production is better. Done? Yes, JIT production is better by 400 rupees. That is your answer here. That is your question number 5. Done? Pretty simple, easy. Yeah. So look, by this time, this is my third class of case study digest discussion. So by this time, It seems we have discussed enough number of cases and quite some number of practical questions here. So I'm not sure when will I come up with my next session for case study digest discussion, but in my opinion, this discussion, what I have done in my 3 classes here, should be sufficient for you to at least start solving the remaining questions on your own. Okay? You can always connect back with me on my Telegram channel if you have any questions and queries. Yes, that's all. Thank you very much. It was lovely teaching you all, and good night. Bye bye.